This is the question asked in today's skillrack daily challenge. So in the first line of our input, we are given the values of m and n. So here m is equal to 4 and n is equal to 3. And now our task is to form a output chessboard pattern. And the size of the chessboard pattern must be m cross n into m cross n. So the value of m cross n is equal to 12 in this case, because 4 into 3 is equal to 12. So our output chessboard pattern must be of size 12 cross 12. So here for the particular input we can see that this is the output chessboard pattern, and every m cross m matrix in this output must be filled alternatively with zeros and ones. So I will highlight every m cross m submatrix. So here the value of m is equal to 4. So this is the first 4 cross 4 submatrix and it is filled with 0. Similarly, the next 4 cross 4 submatrix is filled with 1, 0, and then when we move to the next row, again we follow the pattern 1, 0, 1, 0. So like that, alternatively, every m cross m submatrix is filled with zeros and ones. So this is how our output chessboard pattern should be looking like. Now let us see our sample input 2. So this is our sample input 2, and here the value of m is equal to 2 and n is equal to 5. So we have to form a 10 cross 10 matrix. So this is the 10 cross 10 matrix, and I am highlighting every 2 cross 2 matrix because here the value of m is equal to 2. So here the first 2 cross 2 matrix is 0, and then the next 2 cross 2 matrix is 1, and again we follow the alternative pattern. So 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So like this, all the 2 cross 2 submatrices are filled. So now let us see the logic which we will be using to fill the matrix like this. So first what we will be doing is we will be filling all the m cross m matrices which start from the 0th row. So in this case, these are all the submatrices. These are all the m cross m submatrices which starts from the 0th row. So first we will be filling these submatrices. So all the m cross m submatrices present over here will be filled alternatively with 0, 1 and then 0, 1 like that. So after filling these matrices, using these values, we will be filling the next set of m cross m matrices. Suppose let us take, we are going to fill this particular 2 cross 2 matrix. So to fill this 2 cross 2 matrix, we will be taking the value from the top matrix. So the top 2 cross 2 matrix present above it is filled with 0. So this particular 2 cross 2 matrix should not be filled with 0. It should be filled with the opposite value 1. Similarly, the next 2 cross 2 submatrix is filled with 0 because the top matrix present over it is filled with 1. So the opposite value. So this is how we will be using the values present over here to fill this particular m cross m matrices. Similarly, we will be using these values to fill the next set of m cross m matrices. So like that, we will be using the values again and again to fill the next set of m cross m matrices. So finally, we will be filling all the m cross m matrices present in the matrix so that we will be able to form the chess pattern as per the conditions given in the question. Now let us see how to write a C program for this. So first I am creating two integer variables named m and n, and in the next line using a scanf statement I am accepting the values of m and n. And now we have to form an output matrix of size m cross n into m cross n. So I am storing the values into two variables named r and c. And then I am creating a two-dimensional array named mat in which we will be storing our output matrix. So the size is r cross c. And I am creating another integer variable named fill, and I am initially setting it to 0. So we will be using this variable fill to fill the particular submatrix with either 0 or 1. And now we have to iterate through every m cross m submatrix. So to do that, I am creating this nested loop. So here in this I loop, we can see that we are iterating from 0 till I less than or equal to r minus m, because the index r minus m will be the last row from which we will be able to form a m cross m matrix. And in every iteration, we should be iterating through non-overlapping m cross m submatrix. So the I is incremented by m times. Similarly, the j loop, it starts from 0 and iterates till j less than or equal to c minus m, and the value of j is incremented by m times in every iteration. So in every iteration of this nested loop, the values of I and j is nothing but the starting index of the particular m cross m submatrix. So using that value of I and j, we have to create another nested loop, and we will be iterating through that particular submatrix. And while iterating, we will be filling that particular submatrix with either 0 or 1 as per the requirement. So initially, we will be filling the first set of m cross m submatrices alternatively with zeros and ones. And only when we move to the next set of submatrices, we will be using the values present in the top row. So whenever I is greater than 0, the value of fill will be obtained from the matrix that is present above it. So after updating the value of fill, we should be creating a nested loop over here. So in this area, we have to create a nested I1J1 loop. So the I1J1 loop will be iterating through the m cross m submatrix. So the I1 loop should be starting from I and it should be iterating till I1 less than I plus m. Similarly, the J1 loop should be starting from J and it should be iterating till J1 less than J plus m. So this I1 J1 loop will be iterating through the submatrix, and in every iteration we have to fill the particular index at I1 J1 with the value of fill. So in every iteration of this nested I1 J1 loop, we should be setting matrix of I1 J1 is equal to fill, so that the value of the variable fill will be stored in that particular m cross m submatrix. And here we are creating another if condition. So this if condition works only when we are present in the 0th row, that is, we are present in the first set of m cross m matrices. So whenever we are present in the first set of m cross m matrices, the value of fill will be updated alternatively. So first, if it is 0, then it will be become updated to 1. So what we are doing is we are setting fill is equal to not fill. So initially the first m cross m matrix will be filled with 0 and the next m cross m submatrix will be filled with 1, because we will be updating fill is equal to not fill. So if it is 0, it will be updated to 1, and if it is 1, it will be updated to 0. So the value of fill will be toggled in every iteration. So this is only when we are in the 0th row, but once when the value of I is updated, now we will be using the values present in the top submatrix. So the value of fill will be obtained from the value present in the above submatrix. So the above submatrix is nothing but the same column but the previous row. So we are taking the value of the integer present in the top submatrix, that is matrix at the index I minus 1 and j, and we are not taking the same value, we are taking the opposite value. So I am including not. So if the value present in the top submatrix is 0, then the value 1 will be stored in the fill. If it is 1, then 0 will be stored in the fill. So like this, the opposite value will be stored in the fill, and then using the value of fill, we will be filling the particular m cross n submatrix by creating a nested I1 J1 loop over here. So this is how we will be filling every m cross m submatrices. So finally, after the execution of this ij loop, all the m cross m submatrices will be filled. So now we have to create a loop and print the updated output matrix, which will be the required output. So this is the logic. Thank you for watching.